Yo, what's good, fam? Welcome back to Court Chronicles, the one YouTube sanctuary where we don't just skim the surface of the NBA, we rip it open, expose the guts, and show you the bloody mess underneath. Today, we're diving headfirst into a feud so vicious, so unhinged, it's got the entire league on the edge of collapse. Stephen A. Smith and Draymond Green are at war, and the spark? None other than LeBron James, the king himself. This isn't some lightweight drama to scroll past. This is a full-on collision of egos. A brutal showdown between a $100 million media titan, a four-time champ who's had enough, and a living legend defending his legacy and his blood. Man, oh man, this is the kind of chaos that keeps you awake at night, replaying every word, every jab, wondering how the hell we got here. And we're talking about a league that's been my heartbeat since I was a kid, watching MJ drop 63 in 86. And now it's being dragged through the mud by loudmouths and hypocrites. I'm fired up, fam. This ain't just a story, it's a reckoning. We're peeling back every layer of this dumpster fire with the kind of passion and fury it demands. So buckle up. This is going to hit you like a sledgehammer. Hit that like button if you're ready to feel the heat. Smash that subscribe if you're tired of the BS. And let's dive into this madness together, because trust me, by the end of this, you're going to be screaming for answers just like I am. But where did this wildfire start? Let's rewind to the moment LeBron threw the match that set it all ablaze. Picture this. March 6, 2025, Lakers versus Knicks at Crypto.com Arena. 19,000 fans crammed into the stands, the air electric with anticipation. LeBron James, the four-time MVP, four-time champ with over 40,000 career points and a $1 billion empire, steps off the court after a timeout. His eyes zero in on Stephen A. Smith, the ESPN loudmouth perched courtside like he's the fifth Beatle. What does LeBron say? Yo, stop fing with my son. That's right. He's not here to play nice. He's defending Bronny James, the Lakers rookie, who's lighting up the G League with 21.9 points, 5.5 assists, and a 47% field goal percentage per game. Stats that should shut every hater up, but not Stephen A. This dude's been relentless, throwing shade at Bronny like it's his personal mission, all while pocketing $100 million to yap on TV. This wasn't a casual chat or a polite nudge. This was a confrontation, a father staring down a bully who's made a fortune tearing down legacies. LeBron's 6'8", 250 pounds of pure dominance, and he's not about to let some desk jockey disrespect his bloodline. But here's where the plot twists hard. Stephen A. didn't flinch. He ran straight to his podcast and called LeBron's move weak and bold. Weak? Are you kidding me? Where I'm from, calling a man weak is just an insult. It's a declaration of war. You'd catch hands faster than you could blink. Not a smug little rant on a mic. Draymond Green. What? The Warriors enforcer with 19 career suspensions and a rap sheet longer than a CVS receipt heard this and couldn't stay quiet. He fired back on the Draymond Green show. Hold up, Stephen A. You don't get to call that weak when LeBron's keeping it real. Where we grew up, those are fighting words. You'd be eating pavement, not pontificating. And that, fam, is when this beef erupted into a Category 5 hurricane. This isn't about basketball anymore. It's a street fight in suits and sneakers. And it's ripping the NBA apart at the seams. LeBron drew first blood, but Stephen A's retaliation was a Molotov cocktail. What did he say next that's got Draymond calling him out for the fraud he is? Let's break it open. Stephen A. Smith, the self-crowned king of hot takes, couldn't let LeBron's check slide without swinging back with everything he's got. On his podcast, he unleashed a venomous, spite-filled rant that dragged Draymond Green right into the line of fire. Listen to this trash. So we got the Draymond Greens out there with his damn podcast, suddenly forgetting my character and who I am. He's saying it was weak of me to call LeBron weak. Where I'm from, we put hands on you. Oh, really? Stephen A., you're going to pull that card now? This is the same guy who spent years crucifying Draymond for his on-court explosions, 19 suspensions across his career, including that 2022 Jordan Poole punch that cost him a game, and a $1,500,000 fine, and that 2023 Rudy Gobert chokehold that sidelined him for 5 games, and racked up another $2 million in lost pay. Stephen A. has been the loudest voice screaming, Draymond's a loose cannon, and now he's flipping the script, acting like Draymond's the villain for calling out his own garbage. The hypocrisy is so rancid, it's stinking up the airwaves. But hold up, it gets even more pathetic. On March 27, 2025, Stephen A. storms onto First Take and drops this absolute clown show of a statement. If LeBron had put his hands on me, I would have swung on him. This 5'11" middle-aged desk jockey who's never sniffed an NBA roster thinks he's stepping into the ring with a 6'8", 250-pound titan who's logged 20 All-Star appearances and carried teams on his back for 2 decades? I'd give him 10 seconds before he's flat on his back, crying for his producer to save him. Draymond wasn't about to let that slide. On his podcast, he tore into Stephen A. with surgical precision. I'm baffled. You question me for saying hands get put on you, then you turn around and say you'd swing on Braun? That's not just petty, it's snarky, contradictory, and straight up weak. And he's spot on. This isn't a slip of the tongue, it's a glaring, flashing billboard, screaming, fraud alert. Stephen A. has built a $100 million empire on quicksand, and every word he spews just sinks him deeper. How does this man look in the mirror knowing he's the biggest con in sports media? Draymond's exposing Stephen A.'s house of lies, but the wreckage is spreading like wildfire. How's this chaos shaking the NBA to its core? Let's dive into the fallout. This isn't just a petty spat. It's a full-blown apocalypse threatening to bury the NBA under its own toxic rubble. LeBron's confrontation kicked off a 15-minute First Take meltdown on March 28, 2025, where Stephen A. had the nerve to claim LeBron skipped Kobe Bryant's 2020 memorial, a bold-faced lie that got him ratioed into oblivion online, forcing a weak, sniveling apology after fans clocked over 50,000 tweets calling him out. Meanwhile, Draymond's podcast fired back, racking up 500,000 views in 24 hours as he mourned. I just remember when media used to talk basketball. He's preaching gospel. ESPN's not a sports network anymore. It's a damn reality show gone off the rails. Look at the numbers. Stephen A's been at 120 games a year for 25 years. That's 3,000 courtside seats. Preaching accountability while dodging it like a coward every chance he gets. LeBron's camp hit back on the Pat McAfee show, pulling 1.2 million viewers as he laid it bare. Stephen A. missed the point. It's about family, not your hot takes. Even NBA Commissioner Adam Silver tried to play peacemaker on March 27, saying, I wish it wouldn't get personal. Too late, Adam. The ship's not just sinking, it's smashed to pieces. This beef's a festering wound in a league where talking heads like Stephen A. rake in $100 million to stir drum, not dissect X's and O's. Check this. First Take viewership spiked 20% during this mess, hitting 2 million viewers, while Draymond's podcast surged 30% in subscribers. Numbers that prove we're all hooked on the chaos, but at what cost? The NBA's soul is choking on this garbage, and we're watching it crumble like a dynasty past its prime. Back in the 90s, legends like Charles Barkley and Shaq settled scores with 50-point games. Now we've got clowns like Stephen A. turning it into a soap opera. This ain't progress, it's a disgrace. The league's rotting from the inside, but what's really on the line here? Let's close this out with the stakes that'll make your... Let's cut to the bone. This Stephen A. Draymond LeBron saga isn't just a juicy headline, it's a death sentence for the NBA we grew up worshiping. LeBron James, with 4 MVPs, 4 titles, and a $1 billion fortune, doesn't need this circus. He's fighting for Bronny, who's dropping 21.9 points, 5.5 assists, and a 47% shooting clip per game in the G League, silencing doubters while Stephen A. keeps yapping. Draymond Green, a four-time champ with 19 suspensions and a warrior's soul, shouldn't have to waste his oxygen on a $100 million fraud who'd get flattened in a real scrap faster than you can say hot take. And Stephen A., he's a puppet master, pulling strings for clicks, not credibility, hiding behind his mic while the league he claims to love bleeds out on the floor. This isn't the NBA I grew up on, where giants like MJ dropped 69 and 90, Kobe torched 81 and 6, and beefs were settled with buckets, not podcasts. We're staring at a league on the brink of ruin, fam, and it's on us to demand these jokers stop the madness. Stephen A's been at 3,000 games over 25 years, bragging about confronting players, yet he's the first to duck when the heat's on. LeBron's logged 57,000 career minutes, more than anyone in history, and he's still out here taking bullets for his kid. Draymond's got 12,000 career points and a Defensive Player of the Year trophy, yet he's battling a desk jockey who's never sunk a free throw. This is insanity. Hit that comment section. Who's right, LeBron, Draymond, or Stephen A? Share this video because the NBA's legacy is on life support, and we're the ones who can rip it off the ventilator. This is Court Chronicles signing off. Stay real, stay loud, and let's drag this game back from the abyss before it's gone forever.